Hey folks, welcome back. We're getting into the losers match, aka the elimination series, and this is requiring a bit of cross-server hopping around, so do give us a moment. Also, I'm fully aware I got the bracket wrong, but deleted the tweet like immediately, so we're good to go now. The brackets command is accurate. And yeah, we always do elimination match first, just to get one of the players out and done with, and we get to watch two winners back to back. It's different how others do it. I like it. It's been traditional at this point. We just keep it as is. But Maynard, hit me up. What's that first map?
It is Odyssey, my friend.
Alright, create with the mod and get these players online. So once again, we go back to North America. Like I said, we presented players several different options and potential things that they could choose here for server swaps. And they've elected to play on North America once again. So this is Stats versus Elazer. Man, so here's the thing, right? Like, I hope Elazer wins this, not because I don't like Stats, but just because I want to see that foreign hype train. But yeah, everything in my head, despite what my heart wants, everything in my head says that Stats takes this series.
I'm with you as well. As much as I am also a ticket holder and a first-class member of the foreign hype train, I'm in the first-class carriage. I'm
shoveling coal. That's all BaseTradeTV is. The grinders.
Yeah. BaseTradeTV is actually in the front, which is less luxurious because you're shoveling in coal. You're making it work. Oh, those wubs.
Shizke. Yo, whoa, 20 bucks. Shizke says for drinks in Anaheim. Maynard, my dude. We gotta do some shots for Shizke when we see him in Anaheim. Or just in his honor. Either way.
In his honor, yeah, I got some shots right here. Yeah, dude, what was I saying? So, I want Elazer to do well here. I definitely at least want a better series than the first series that we saw today, but... Dude, yeah, I don't know. Not against Stats.
I gotta read you guys the in-game lobby. You guys gotta see that. I love this. This is the good kind of shit talk. Sorry, it's a black screen because it's StarCraft, but Elazer says, are you confident your BlizzCon group? Seth says, I don't know, and you? He's like, yes, and I'm gonna make you not confident now.
Yeah, Stats thinks his group's pretty hard.
Yeah, he's just saying bye-bye. He's literally just saying bye. I love it. All right, they're ready. Let's get into Odyssey. There is no map intro for this one, so if you guys are quick enough, and maybe check the tail end of this conversation. But yeah, this is the type of banter I want more of, man. This is polite, it's cheeky, and it's hilarious. It's so easy to say fuck you or like make fun of somebody like in a really petty way.
Like fuck your mom.
Yeah.
Like we're not Call of Duty.
No comment there, but I like the back and forth between these two guys. All right, folks, it's a best of 5 for the TING Open. This is the elimination series. Somebody's about to walk away from the tournament, but here's the beauty of this: the top 16 players all are getting prize money from TING. So anyone who's out today has already made it to the prize money and will not walk away from this tournament empty-handed. I think last place at the moment is like 43 bucks or something. It's not bad, not great. And Stats are not liking the ping. All right, guys, in the top left side, we've got the blue Zerg player, Elazer.
And in the bottom right, this is Splice's Stats.
All right, let's talk about ping here for a moment, guys. We did the European server, excuse me, the East Coast server of North America as the defaults. The plan is to swap that back and forth between East and West. So, again, it's still not great. And as you see here... God. Yeah, I've got like... yeah. This is not good for Stats. There's two types of ping in this game too, and what's unfortunate is neither are consistent. There's the type of ping and lag that makes it like when you click and drag something, like it has a delayed response. The other one actually just kills your FPS. Like Stats might be playing at like 4 FPS if the lag is that bad for him. Unfortunately, there is no amazing solution to this, but they both chose to play the North American server, and we do the best we can to play around that. So I don't know if the West Coast server will be much better for Stats or not, but just so you guys are aware, Europeans will benefit a little bit more being closer to the East Coast server. Koreans will benefit a little more being closer to the West Coast server. But the idea here isn't that the idea here isn't that one player gets an advantage, it's that they're both equally disadvantaged. Is kind of what you try and do.
So we're seeing that, you know, Elazer is obviously going to have a massive ping advantage here in this game. But as Elazer's saying in chat, he's being a good sport about it. He's going to made an agreement with stats to switch between servers, between games. I
do want to speak a little bit on that too. Elazer and Hearthstone, especially above most others, stand out to me when it comes to good sportsmanship. Hearthstone for me won it over no problem when we were casting one of the LAN groups at DreamHack. Even though he did not actually have a clear view of our monitor, he asked to be repositioned and change PCs and have us turn away, just so he wasn't even tempted to cheat. And on top of this, he's had many other good instances of good sportsmanship, remakes, you name it, like, really stand-up guy. Elazer is very similar in that same way. Not as many cool stories to tell about him, but just as you guys are even seeing here, saying, look, I'm willing to take the L playing on Korea, right? Like, I'll suck it up. We can do one game here, one game on Korea, back and forth type thing.
Yeah, and Snoot's another guy that's like that as well. Very fair, very sportsman, very well sportsmanlike. Yeah, the single adept here from Stats coming in to look into that natural. He's going to have to shade in if he wants to see anything. That queen and the Ling's going to bully it back. But really not a whole lot to say here.
Oh, that was an interesting way to do this. Okay, Elazer was onto it though. Because the way he transferred there could have looked like a cancel. The way he kind of dipped into the fog of war, but unfortunately that's not how this is going to go in Stats. Yeah, it's going to get that depth out of the base. Takes a little bit of damage.
Yeah, but she's still alive, so... if you can get 2 adepts into a mineral line, then that's, you know, that they one-shot drones. But they need to get there, and he loses one of them there to the Lings.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for Stats to pull off some of his tricks. A lot of that's going to be ping-related, too. I mean, luckily, adepts aren't like stalkers. They're kind of like... You don't micro them the same way, so you don't have to worry about the lag so much, and that might have influenced why he chooses to go for them. Because that transfer is not going to be dependent on your lag, that's just a timer. So whether you're lagging or not, it doesn't matter, the timer will still go off. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Adepts just having a peek here, shading away, being very careful with these Adepts here, Stats, not overcommitting at all. And Elazer's going to be looking through that third base. Third base is done. He's getting the Bailey Nest and Lair on the way. It's all pretty regular ZvP right now. Neither player doing something, you know, anything really crazy. Which is interesting to me. Like, you know, Elazer had a very all-in weird series against Hero, but I kind of expected Elazer to whip out a proxy on this map, to be honest, because he's really, you know, he is the kind of player that will cheese in ZvP. But I mean,
for me,
he's playing very regular right now.
Start of the year set himself for me. Nation Wars, Innovation, willing to go Roach Ravager all in. Like, Elazer is definitely one to maybe do these things. I don't know that I would expect a hatchery out of him, though. Like, I think the meme builds against Stats had a lot to do, or, excuse me, Hero, had a lot to do with the fact that it was the BlizzCon group. Obviously, I don't know this definitively, but I feel like that was the case. I don't know that we're going to see them against Stats. Like, Elazer is playing very much more standard here, for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and there's a hider den to just say, you know, it's as standard as gets in ZvP.
Yeah.
And Storm on the way here, or rather Templar Archives on the way here for Stats, with very likely going to be Storm and Archon on the way. Adepts looking for an entrance here, and they're going to head towards that Naturalist Shade in a second. Elazer does have Lings and Banes in position.
Yeah, and just before the fight kicks off, big thank you to Wicked25 for the 125 bitty bits.
Yeah. Any relation to Jibby25? Same last name?
No, because he only did 125 bits, not 100,025 bits.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So we do have some prison play coming in here. Yeah, could warp in to reinforce if he feels like the coast is clear.
If he warps in a sentry right now, he could lock off that ramp, and the Elazer would be screwed on the defense. I'm not sure if he's thinking about that, but it would be, my favorite option to see. It's a little bit late now, though. The Lings are already here.
Yeah, a little bit late. If he stayed to the shadows, but, you know, he could have done something there. But as it stands, Elazer going for a counterattack here with some Lings. Plenty of overcharges on this Mothership core.
Just gotta hide those Templar, a little bit exposed out here.
Yeah, don't want to lose those. Elazer just targeting the probes down here, not caring about those Templar. It's quite a few. 6 probes there for those Lings. It's absolutely worth it. Another warp in the main.
Yeah, this is driven off pretty quickly. The Hydras are a little bit too scary. Jibby, though, what I love about Jibby, you know, it's not his generosity or the spam or the cheekiness, because he is quite cheeky, and I love him for it, is that he actually uses our cheer motes. So setting off the bomb, with 1,250 bits. Says gotta add more zeros. Exactly, my dude.
Sorry to interrupt your Jibby love right there. That prism going down would have been devastating for stats.
Well, Elazer sees some other cool things too that might be devastating for stats, like a Baneling drop, for example. Now this doesn't have upgrades, guys. There's no +1, there's no +2, so the damage to the probe line is limited. It's gonna take 2 Banelings per hit. Typically, I want to say this gets about 9 to 11 if done decently, because sometimes you get more if the probes are pulled in like a bad panic. But honestly, oh my god, you know what? More than the probes. This is on an intercept course to maybe hit the Templar. If he got these Banelings on top of the Templar, this would be so much more valuable than getting probe lines.
Dude. Oh, he doesn't see them though.
Oh, it's a fake. It's a fake in the main.
It's a fake.
Oh,
it's a fake in the main.
He hopes he pulls the probes away, and that's where the other Overlord might come in. Yeah, so this is already economic damage. This is a total sick fake out of Elazer.
Nice. Oh, actually, these overcharges are going to be the Overlord. That's a nice defense there from stats.
So that kind of evens it out.
Yeah, didn't work as well as you wanted.
I feel like that was a really good way to even things out, but it still burned 2 overcharges. It still wasn't like for free.
Quite a few Hydrals here, and they nearly have +1, but not quite. If they have +1, I feel like they can take the fight, but that said, though, they're the High Templar, and they got lots of energy, so probably not.
Oh, some Baneling still managed to roll in, but just barely missed that final hit. The cannon soaks up some of them. But that Hydra attack, man, this is easy shut down on the 4th base. It's a kill, not a cancel. Stat's going to be having a hard time canceling things with 340 ping.
True that, and loses 17 probes to the harassment of Elazer as well, the Bane Rain.
Oh, did more Banes get in there?
Oh, yeah. 17 probes died, man.
Yeah, I guess they ran into the 3rd base. Sorry, I was looking at the main army fight, and of course, taking the eye on the minimap back at home. Charge lots get by this. Adepts get by this. And Elazer is quickly being matched for worker kills here.
Yeah, he sure is. Starting to lose a lot of drones here. The Queen's starting to die as well.
Uh-oh.
Having a hard time dealing with these charge lots. The Lings are the only thing you can get out fast enough. Hydras are trying to get made here.
Well, on the other side of the map, Maynard, big storms managed to hit those Hydras, but there's just barely not enough to deal with this. If there's like one more Archon, this would have been an easy hold. Instead, it's very, very tight. Very close.
That last Archon does morph here, and that can certainly win the fight here at the 4th, rather. But Elazer's not done yet. He's going to keep rallying and keep that attack on, and definitely wants to cancel that 4th one more time.
He needs more charge lots. Adepts are being warped in, too. 13 Hydras at a time, far outmatching the production of Stats. I mean, Stats just doesn't have the money. Yeah. Oh, these changelings are going to hold the position of the Immortal. He can't run away with it.
That's so sick. Zerg's force field here. He's doing it again.
Oh, what a dick move. He literally can't escape the cage of changelings.
Zerg, all you Zergs out there in the chat that want to learn some cool tricks of ladder, there you go.
You know what? I love, because Stats has been catching our eyes doing a lot of really cool things. Elazer just out cool things Stats. The current king of cool things.
Yeah. Which isn't easy to do. Mothership Core goes down with tons of energy. Stalker's going to go down as well. Obviously, they're never going to win a fight against +1 Hydras. That's going to be it. GG.
Oh, Elazer with a very good game, number 1. But keep in mind, guys, now we got to figure out whether it was the server latency or Elazer's sick tactics that had a bigger factor, because we may be swapping back to Korea. I can host West server tests real quick. All right, let's we'll just make like a quick test map here with Stats. This isn't gonna be a real game. We're not actually getting into game right this second. Thank you for whoever's sharing those bits.
That's Jibby.
This is test, not real. Oh wait, this is still the wrong server. Fuck. Cool. I've left the game, but I haven't left the game. How does that work?
What?
Hang on. Jibby, how many bits did Jibby share, and how much love do we give him, Maynard?
Let's see, it was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1,000 bits.
Wow! Wait, what? That's
I'm sorry, 100. 100, I'm sorry.
Who taught you math?
I'm off by a 0, whatever.
So is the other guy. Jibby corrected him. Anyways, thank you for the wall of GGs. I love seeing those in chat. But yeah, we're getting players in the lobby. This is West Coast server tests, not a real game. Please join. We're gonna see what the latency looks like on the West Coast, guys. If it's unplayable for Elazer as well, then we might as well just go to Korea.
There's 1,000. That's 1,000. Thank you, Jibby.
That is 1,000.
Can confirm.
Oh, why are they having trouble joining here? Is that saying regen? Okay, he's relogging. Jimmy, thank you very much for those bits, man. Also, just showing off that shirt people were talking about earlier. Here's the Base Trade shirt. It's got some sick-ass graffiti. It's got our channel emotes. It's got me and Zombie Grub. It's got a really cool text on it. It's beautiful, baby. And I'm super proud of it.
Take it off. Take it off.
No, dude, they've been cheering for me to share nudes ever since we talked about it on stream. And it's just, nope. Nope.jpg.
Base Trade isn't that kind of place, guys. Yet.
Don't say yet. Don't say yet.
Yet.
All right, well, I'm not sure what's happened to stats here. So the idea of what we're trying to do, I'm sorry, because this really does put a big hiccup in the series, guys, because we're trying to find out latency and what works. We're trying to host the game now on the West Coast server. It's not a real map. It's not a real game. This might as well be a break, so you guys just take a couple of minutes here, because we're just seeing if this is playable even for stats. So I want to make perfectly clear, this is not a real game we're hosting. We're not about to get into game number 2. We're just trying to find out if the latency is playable or not.
So ignore this game, ignore this countdown.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can join us in game, but there's nothing to really see, because again, it's a test. We're just seeing what the latency looks like. Oh, that awkward feel when your waifu pops up on the friends list as you get in the game. Don't look at my chat.
Don't look at me.
All right, so this is the West Coast now. Both see what the ping looks like. Nexikuro.
690 release the nudes. Hey man.
Hashtag save stats.
My nudes are staying on my phone. Thank you very much.
All right, so Elazer's ping jumps up, not by whole lots actually. This is not that. It's not good, but it's not that much worse. Did stats forget what buttons to press?
Control Alt F, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, it's better. But so both players are playing with 200.
West Coast or Go Korea? I mean, the thing is, by default, guys, our options we did present them was loser could pick the server. They're agreeing to be amicable and polite and courteous, but realistically, Stats has all the right to say, let's play on Korea. So he's saying go Korea. All right, cool. We're going to throw up a commercial break then, because this is going to take a couple of minutes to swap around. It's just going to be a headache, because we got to... Yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 minutes. Thank you for watching. Love your faces. All right, ladies and gentlemen, StarCraft's going to be black screen for just a sec, because we are back on the North American server. We're on the West Coast. So... this has a lot to do with player courtesy, making this a headache. We'll explain what the format is going forward, but before then, let's do the intros. To the lower right, we have the Red Zerg player. It's none other than Elazer.
On the top left, currently down in the series, this is Splice's stats.
All right, so after having gone to the Korean server, it turns out Elazer had like even worse ping than Stats had on the North American server. Stats being the good guy that he is, he said, all right, fine, we'll go west. And what we may end up doing is rotating like west to Korea if Stats loses again. It may just end up going West Coast versus East Coast back and forth. I mean, really, we're just accommodating the players. We could set a lot of harsh rules down and information to speed things along. But if these guys are willing to work it out with each other and be kind enough to accommodate and not fight one another, then I have all the patience and the willingness in the world to also run along this path.
Yeah. So in the end, it's up to the players. Like, whatever they want to do, man.
You know what kills me though?
I mean,
this is where I get a little bit. This is where I'm gonna get a little bit petty, guys. Okay, because moments like this, whereas the organizers for the tournament, the casters, you name it, we're doing everything in our power to accommodate the players, no matter how much it inconveniences us. This isn't gonna get remembered the next time somebody does something stupid and I gotta punish them in a tournament.
That is true. Tomorrow's a new day, as they say.
Yeah, but again, I want to be serious. Like I am. When players are fighting, we really have to step in. When players are fighting, but in the kindest, most accommodating way, it's no problem sitting on the sideline. This is like the equivalent of like you hang up. No, you hang up. No, we'll go to your server. No, we'll go to your server.
Elazer and Stats is literally that. That's such a good analogy.
Just like sitting there on their beds, legs kicked up in the air. Like, you hang up.
I remember doing that. I remember doing that in high school once, like as a girlfriend in high school. Just
oh
like,
yeah, we've all done
she's
that
like,
at one point.
I'm like, you hang out. She's like, no, you have, and I'm like, okay.
See, my problem is I've never had the actual cutesy version of that. Every girl I've ever had that with, we've sarcastically done it, which has led into still the same end result of you hang up. Oh, I'm totally gonna hang up. Anyway,
totally hang up. Don't fucking think I won't.
Silliness aside, thank you very much, Jimmy, for 500 more bitty bits coming in. Since 20 minutes of setting up, it's gonna be a 2-minute game. Don't say that, man. Please don't say that.
Fucking Jimmy, dude.
But yeah, so West Coast stats coming here with a Oracle. So this is actually pretty much stats still playing exactly as stats has played. Not changing it up, not doing proxies. That's actually something I'm going to give stats big credit for, by the way, because it's not even anything to do with BlizzCon. This whole year, I can't really recall a lot of games where stats got super downright proxy, super downright disgusting, other than his normal disgusting Oracle play.
Goodness gracious. I feel like his disgusting Oracle play is almost as disgusting as his Adept play, because he's quite good at that as well. I feel like maybe Hero is the only bloke that I've seen do better with Adepts in PvZ.
Yeah, Hero, speaking of Hero, sitting there in the winner's match, waiting to play against Solar. They'll play their best of 5 after this series concludes. And lucky for us, that's just going to be on Korea. No dancing around for that one.
True that. Double Queen and a Spore Crawler means that no bueno for this Oracle needs to get out of there. Does get a couple drones for his trouble, though.
Oh, a third one, too.
Say. And a third one, nice.
Oh no, oh no, is this me? Okay, there was a very weird hiccup, but I think I'm good. Was there any lag in game?
No, not at all.
Okay, next question is stream. Are we still alive? Because the computer didn't freeze. I could still see you moving, but the game definitely froze, and I went, oh god, no.
Stream's fine.
Okay.
I got mine on the screen. It's all good.
Okay. Whoo-wee. All right, well, as far as the openings go, not a lot actually gets accomplished. Obviously, Stats hasn't lost anything, which is good, but he also hasn't, I don't know, he's not like Hero. He's not winning the game through Oracle's mass stasis trapping. Actually, I want to go back to that replay at some point and look at how much Hero actually killed of Elazer. It was like the most passive win I've ever seen, the most pacifist win of all time.
Yeah, I feel like he killed like maybe 4 lings.
4 lings that just froze everything else.
Yeah.
It's gonna freeze your assets. We'll get some changelings just kind of helping scout, extending the Overseer's reach here, so to speak. But speed plus the Overseer, man, he's gotten through all the bases once and twice again, so now he knows exactly what's going on. He sees the Templar Archive timing too. No Chrono Boost on the Twilight, so it doesn't really give away that there's charge, but this with the Templar Archives, you know it's charge lots and Archons.
Oh yeah. Every day of the week going to be Charge Lot Archon and Storm later on as well. It is just what you need against Lingbane Hydra, which is like 8 times out of 10 going to be what a Zerg does against you. Prism is going to start to get into play here for stats, which is when stuff can get a little bit dangerous for a Elazer. You know, is the army going to be out of position? Are the Queen's going to be in position? Is he looking for it? Does he spot it with his Overlords? These are the questions that you want to know when the Prism comes knocking, and the Overlord is going to spot it here. And Elazer's a good player, so he will see that in midnight.
Yeah, Elazer's scouting is actually one of the things I would give him most credit for when it comes to Zergs. Some of it has to do with that early speed Overlord. A lot of it has to do with the many points I would make anytime he's versus a Terran. But even now, look at this Overlord spread, the watchtowers. Like, he actually has a line down the middle of the map where he can see every and anything coming. This is actually so sick. This is better than creep spread at the moment. Yeah.
The Overlord's basically giving him map control. They're just showing him everything. He can respond at a moment's notice to anything here. Does he have muscular orbits just yet? He should do. Yes, he does. Cool.
Fun fact, by the way, before BaseTradeTV was going to be called BaseTradeTV, we were going to be called Map Control.
I remember that.
God, that is forever ago.
Yeah, that's like 2011?
Yeah. Somewhere around there. Basically find the post that Team Liquid or Verily gets added for being a fraud, and then add a week to it. That's when BaseTradeTV was made.
Man, those are back in the Zeph and Baldy days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was the Zeph and Maynard winning the So You Think You Can Cast contest days.
Shit, we would lose the fuck out of that tournament if that happened in 2017. But the Lings come in here and see the 4th. They get 0 damage done.
Oh, that's a lot of cannons.
Well, wow, yeah, that's damn.
I mean,
$600 worth of cannons.
I like cannons. I like when you see Protoss players put down the static defense too. I just feel like this is kind of early and a lot of money to be spending on cannons.
Big push with the Hydras here. No stasis wards or anything like that for stats, so this is potentially dangerous. The Observer does see it. He wants to pick up the pylon on the edge here.
It's kind of interesting to go for this first. It is a bit of a freebie. But if he goes in, I mean, honestly, there's not that much to fight. I guess if he dodges the storms, he'll be good, but...
Yeah. The storms are really the only scary thing. Everything else is not scary to these Hydralisks. This is scary.
He sees this coming too, and I love this. Elazer backing away, not because he's scared of taking the fight over here, but because he knows he can't leave this uncontested over here. He actually sees that nothing gets picked up, because again, like Elazer has full vision of what's going on here. He sees nothing picked up and decides to go for the big drop Nurtio styles.
Yes, the Doom drop, the Zerg Doom drop at the Hydras. This is actually like almost Brood War style, going into the main of the Protoss here.
If this was like 3 more Overlords, I guess this would be Nurtio style, so 4 Overlords is a little bit light. This is going to split the forces though, and I don't actually know if he can take on this fight to the south.
Yeah, Mortals are actually surprisingly scary to Hydralisks here. The Archons are getting their tank on as well. Time Warp going down to make things a little bit trickier for the Hydralisks to micro back and forth. Banelings are looking for the High Templar. I'm not sure if they'll get them.
I'm starting to see why he killed that pylon now too. Restricting a lot of vision made this a lot harder to see coming, but Hydra's on top of the Immortals. A couple overcharged pylons. That's not going to stop this though. The Hydras in the main really are uncontested so far. Now that we got units coming in to warp in, he just pick up on the Overlords and get out. He doesn't though, he dies.
Nah, yeah, pulls out here.
Oh
man, Baneling's rolling into the 4th base here. The cannon's going to go down, and the Nexus is in big trouble as well. Status has to come down. He has to reinforce this. 12 probes have gone down as well. The laser with too much.
This is some good karma for Elazer too, because remember, this is Elazer giving Stats the better server choice, right? Saying, Stats, we'll go to Korea for you, and the Stats say, no, we'll come back, and the whole hang up thing. But now the real question is, do we stay on the US or go back to Korea? Because, I mean, Stats is on his last life. So this is, by the way, I want to put, because there's been so much dancing around what's going on, this is still the elimination series. If Stats loses this next game, if he loses one more game, he's out of the Ting Open. It's dead. It's over. But he wants to stay on West. All right. Maynard, hit me up. What's the map?
The map is Abyssal.
All right. And Good Guy Stats is electing to stay. So, West Coast server. Maynard and Elazer. Man, Stats is saying his computer. I mean, if he needs to go restart or something, we can take whatever for timing.
High ping? Oh, okay.
So, the fact that Stats is blaming his computer makes me think he's getting the FPS version of the lag. As I mentioned before, there's 2 different types of lag, guys. The one is just simply like everything's smooth, but like responds late. Like you click on something, it doesn't respond for 2 seconds. Then there's another kind where things are pretty responsive, but you're playing at like 2 FPS. It's really irritating getting that, the latter of the 2. But anyways, Abyssal Reef, talk about this more in a moment. See you guys in game. All right, guys, it's game number 3 and possibly the end of the series. He's on match point in the top left from Splice. It's Stats.
And in the bottom right, getting some wins on the board here. This is Elazer.
And again, just to address this, because there's no excuses being made here. It's a very real thing that if you've played the game across server, you've experienced it, you've probably wanted to punch your monitor through it. Both players are going to be lagging a little bit, of course, but Elazer, Stats, nobody wants to be playing off server. Nobody wants to be in this situation, and no one wants their tournament decided by it. But here's the thing. Even if this didn't happen now in the round of 16, this would happen in the round of 8, because round of 8 is when all the cross-server play comes in. Round of 8 is when we random draw to see who fights who type thing. So to be clear, there's no real advantage to getting out of first or second place in your group at this point. It's just a matter of, like, getting out of your group at this point.
it's all about. It's Elazer, after that first series, needs to put some work in here for the rest of this group if he wants to get through.
Yeah, I mean, Elazer brings this back. Like, I think if he has to rematch Hero, we'll probably not see Elazer get out of the group. But if Hero beats Solar in the winners match and it's Elazer Solar in the finals, again, I think even with no other tournaments in play, I think Elazer can beat Solar in a ZvZ, honestly.
Yeah, I think Elazer's best matchup is ZvZ. I mean, a lot of that has to come for the fact that he's a high-level European player. Like, the Europe ladder is high-level Zergs.
I would say his best matchup is Elazer versus Snoot, then ZvZ.
Yeah, it's a special kind of matchup there.
Well, now we're just on patrol right now. Stat's not in any danger of losing this. He knew about the pool timing, so just kind of chilling to see what comes out next. See, maybe catch a quick gas or something. He takes his own Nexus, and I mean, again, for Stats, all the pressure is on Stats. None of this is on Elazer. He's up 2 games, and frankly, I'm surprised he didn't like do an all-in or something to try and close out the series very quickly.
Yeah, I'm actually super surprised I haven't seen a single all-in from Elazer. Just pressure builds. Like, yes, he went for fast link drops and that sort of thing, but that's not all-in. Like, the game transitioned from there. That's just aggressive play. That's just, you know, a timing attack.
Hey, Manor, do me a favor. Make a point about Stats real quick.
Make a point about Stats real quick. Great Twitch streamer, GSL champion, beautiful, best Protoss in the world.
Yeah, and speaking of Stats, let's talk about the stats for who's tuning in this morning, guys. Oh, I gotta give a big shout out, even though nobody listening is gonna understand what I'm saying, I'm sure. Korea's rocking her viewership again. I'm so used to seeing US be #1 all the time, always. But this is insane. There is a 35% of our audience tuning in from South Korea right now, followed up by a 15% from the USA, 7% from Germany, and then can we get a hell yeah to the 4% of Australia beating out every other country like Poland and Canada and Sweden and Russia? Australia coming in at #4 for the first time ever.
What is up, my Aussies?
This is where I would do my bad accent, but because so many are tuning in, I will respectively not.
And respectively, 5 drones go down to this adept harassment as well. Not bad.
Yeah. That's a real good poke for Stats, actually. For Elazer, it's not like he's on a low drone count by any means, but early on, drone damage hurts so much more than later on, and I bet you're going to see that in the income graph, that huge spike jumping up there from that.
Oh, yeah. Whew.
Also, wow, the chat hype with Aussie. I need to shout out Australia more often.
Australians, say what you will about them, they are passionate about their country. Jimmy 25! 5,000 bits! Because that's an Australian right there. We love StarCraft.
Dude, it's not even 5,000 bits. It's 5,000 creekgasming bits. Look at that rainbow. It's fucking glorious. Beautiful. But yeah, as much as I do want to hype up Australia, guys, and it's good to see you guys tuning in, still, that South Korea number is crazy to me. Like, yeah, that is not a number of viewers we see from South Korea.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool though, because a lot of people sort of get worried about the StarCraft 2 Korean scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey Jibby, how's your chat going?
I love that we don't even have to tell people to do this anymore. Jibby comes and bombs the stream, and he's just immediately spammed with like fucking Jibbies.
Jibby's a meme now. He's ascended.
He's a living meme.
He's a meme now. Yeah. Jibby, you're a meme now. You know what? Memes live forever. Well, at least for a really long time. So, congratulations, Jibby.
Yeah, I was thinking about it because memes didn't really have a definition back in the day. But do you remember the website You're the Man Now, Dog?
No, I don't know that one.
Oh man, people link YTMNDs all the time. That was kind of like the first living meme website I can think of. But yeah, shout out to Jibby. All those who want to know the exact statistics of how many other people are tuning in, I can't go over this, guys. It's too many numbers. It's too precise, and it gets cut off after 10. We can only see the top 10. So if you heard your country's name shouted out, you're in the top 10. If you didn't, it's below it. But that doesn't mean there's not a lot of people tuning in, because the lowest number on that list is still like 400 people tuning in from Taiwan. Alright, so we have the Oracle, excuse me, the Warp Prism heading on in.
Warp Prism right there, yeah.
But there's not a lot of tech with this yet. Like, this is hitting a little bit early, so some Adept Harass is nice, but until like +1, until charge, like, we're not going to see a committed attack out of this, not yet at least.
He only has two warp gates as well. Like, it's not a huge warp around and get going there.
You're right, he's only just finished up the other gateways and transformed them in. So, okay. Yeah. A little bit lackluster in terms of reinforcements, but still, 4 drones, gets away. He saw the Hydras. He knows he doesn't want to commit to that.
True that. I'd be very happy with that, just getting those depths in for 4 drones. That's free damage as far as I'm concerned.
This is why the gateway's really. He was going to use them as the wall. That's actually pretty clever. I like that.
Clever, as the Dark Templar will say.
All right, here's the new bait, guys. If you're subbed to the channel, you can totally see how many people from your country are tuning in. That's definitely a real feature. And there's only one way to verify.
Yeah. If you sub to the channel, you get free coffee for the rest of your life. There's only one way to verify it.
Yeah, we're definitely lying, just for the record, because I don't like.
No.
I don't like that maybe
please,
one person.
Please don't stop expecting these things.
Yeah, it's called sarcasm. So the War Prism continues to do some harass. Again, picking off a couple drones here and there. This actually kind of reminds me more of like a Raven with its auto turrets right now than anything else. Like, it's not doing massive amounts of damage, but it's keeping Elazer on his toes. It's keeping him at home, and he knows that this is a threat. With the Overlord scouting this too, he knows he can never leave this completely unattended.
Another one.
Yeah, well, Pave. 3 months in a row. Hey, buddies. Excellent stream. Well, that's an excellent sub. So thank you very much.
Janie motherfucking Jane.
Okay, is Janie Jane just like the next Jibby to be? They both have J's in their names. They're both awesome human beings. Generous and wonderful.
Yes, could be. Time will tell. These two Hydras are on walkabout, man. Shout out to the Australians again one more time.
It's the wild outback. You never know what's waiting for you out here. Snakes,
they're
immortals.
They're out in the bush, man. They're out in the bush, dude. They're not ready for this trek. A little bit of Bane Rain here. Few of the probes go down, but not too many. It's not critical damage here. Stats are a pretty healthy work account. Yeah, it's a good pull. Good reaction, good defense.
He also, once again, goes for these cannons layered in towards the 4th base. I didn't really like this last game, but this one's a lot better because this actually prefaces, like, with the wall off over here, this is the pathway covered. There's a choke on this side, too. There's a lot of way. Ooh, nice pick up of the warp on the mothership core.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys. There's some shoutouts we got to do, but this is actually really cool. I really like what Stats has done, and I just want to talk about this for a second because, yeah, a combination of Stasis Trap, the way he can force Elazer to funnel into him. Elazer, by the way, who might not have a fun time dealing with Stasis Traps because, man, Stats' Stasis Traps have been killing people lately. Like, this is such a sick setup for him.
Stasis Trap. That's what you call it from now on, because there's no one that uses them as abusively as this guy.
He has been kicking ass and taking names. But anyways, while we wait for the attack to commence, Janie Jane with 1,000 bits saying Dawkins initially defined meme as a noun that conveys the idea of a unit of cultural transmission or a unit of imitation. I don't know if that in itself is a meme. But I wait thinking with 1,000 bits. And then Jimmy says, new bit bench hype! Oh no, did he lose his orange butthole? He did. Now he's got a green butthole
now. That's actually probably more concerning. And these Hydras crush this fight here. That's just charge lots, no problem, easy peasy. Elazer keeping stats at bay. Elazer looks so strong in this game, by the way. He's got Hive on the way, Spire.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's in such a good spot.
I don't really like this Overload drop because it's kind of softened up and weak. The cannon might even just kill it, but we'll see if that ends up being the case or not. Setting up behind here, the Hydras have range. They can pressure the mineral line a little bit, so you can maybe look at hitting that wall. The downside to stats is like this wall is great, but it's also all of his production. If he loses this wall with 1,200 minerals in the bank, he can't warp in a bunch of units. That's gonna really suck for him.
Yeah. And now that the wall's down, the Banelings are starting to roll on in. They're looking for a juicy probe line. Storms go down.
Not good enough though. Probes do get pulled though, so this is still only 3 workers killed. Oh, but
the High Templar! Oh,
my
they live,
Jesus.
And the probes live too.
Oh my Jibby. I can't believe everything lived with barely any health.
Oh, look at this probe's hit points.
Guys, I want to be clear about this too. If this was +2 melee for Elazer, everything there just died, without a doubt. Like, that is an incredible difference in damage. So, Stats is so lucky that Elazer did not have melee upgrades for this attack. But he's getting them now, he's getting Adrenal Glands, and most importantly, he's moving on to a greater Spire. Well, Stats has all the tools necessary to deal with what's here right now. He's only just getting the tools to deal with what's coming up next.
Yeah, Stargate and Fleet Beacon on the way to get those Tempests out to deal with those Broodlords, possibly carriers, but I'm feeling Tempests here. Shout out to the scariest kind of animal I can think of, which is a cuddly Scorpion for a tier 1 sub during all of that, and an extra 500 from Aphasia.
Fucking Jibby. Alright, more Banelings coming in, but Stats is so smart! He makes a wall of warp-ins to protect the probes!
Dude, Stats is so good at this game! Oh my god!
These Banelings gonna roll in. Okay, Elazer's backing off. I think what's cool about this is we're nerding out about stats pretty hard. He's doing a lot of amazing things with very limited tools. But Elazer's got the late game, man. He's coming up on that hive. He's finished on that hive. He's coming up with the Greater Spire. He's even, I didn't even realize, he put static defense down in anticipation of warp-ins. Because Stats has said this warp prism chilling for, like, what, 10 minutes now?
That thing's starting to collect dust. Like, it's been there for a good while. Or I guess algae, because they're underwater? Anyway.
That's a good
the wall's
point.
being touched. Yeah, the wall's being touched on here. Another pickoff, actually, whether the Hydra's in front. They're going for the natural while the Lings bully that those gateways down there. Juicy storm from Stats!
Water does conduct electricity, Maynard.
It does. Storms should cover the whole map then.
Oh my god, can you imagine you put one storm down, literally the entire map, like a nova going out where it's just like...
It's a psionic storm, though, so it might not be electricity.
Oh, you're right. All this, like, psionic energy hitting the... Ooh, never thought about that. That changes a lot for me, actually.
Yeah, see? TIL.
Alright, well, this is still gonna be problems. I feel like that he's finally getting cannons down to help deal with these little run-bys, but at the same time, these gateways are buying so much defensive properties for Stats. Like, he's not worried about losing these probes because of this. And remember, this keeps the backside of this base covered as well. Mothership's now in play too. Tempests are out. I think he's got, what, 3 already? 2 already?
Yeah, 2 with 2 more on the way, so 2 in total. These Broodlords are out.
He's not quite in one-shot territory yet.
Not quite, no. When you have like 6 Tempests, I feel pretty confident against Broodlords if I play for us.
The beautiful thing about the Tempest, though, these things can chill back. They don't have to actually engage. They can force Elazer to be the one who has to engage.
We got a tag on the Broodlords as well, which is incredibly important for Stats. Getting that extra range in Tempests from the Oracle Vision. Broodlords are, with their Broodlings, starting to siege here on this extra Nexus.
Broodlings actually are still eating up the stasis traps. That's actually a really nice element to have in play, but there's still, this base here is going to have to get canceled likely. He's got to deal with this army before he can push forward. Argon's still starting to deal with the Corruptors. He gets a little too deep with the Corruptors.
Yeah, those Corruptors weren't being controlled there. Massive storms getting picked up the Corruptors. He was banking those storms, man. Now they're raining hell on these Hydralisks.
Broodlords are gone. Corruptors are dead.
Yeah, he's held here.
Downside for Stats, he did have to cancel / lose this base, but the counter momentum here is really good. Elazer had a really awesome bank, like 3k minerals type thing, but just remaxes on 21 Hydras and a lot of Zerglings. I think the Pathogen Glands is coming a little bit late, but I like the idea of finally seeing those Infestors come into play. But he's got to hold off another attack. And Stats, you know what? One of the big things he didn't lose with this was his Templar. He's still got 6 Templar.
He sure does. And they have, I think they have enough storms each, like per Templar as well. So there's still a bit of splash damage here in this army. Ling's trying to look for a run by. There's some hurt probes here, but Depth ruins their day. Another Nexus cancel though. That's actually a kill, sorry.
Ooh, is that the second one? That's the second kill.
Yeah, yeah. So that's actually substantial. That's good. Because Stats' bank is not impressive, guys. His mineral bank is not great.
But that's the problem for Elazer. He doesn't know that. And Elazer's starting to take some bad trades, so he's got to be really paranoid right now. Like, okay, if Stats is playing this cost efficiently and he's got a bank, I can't play, like, anything mistakes. Also, big shout-outs to Janie for the bits. They stormed so good. And, girl, you are nailing it with that statement.
Yeah, they're not bloody bad. Some creeping spread out here. I mean, Mama is here and she's making things tough for the Zerg with the cloaked army here. All these Tempests raining hell from above.
Yeah, but this is
out now with Neural Parasite on the horizon, but that's a ways away.
That's actually a really important element to this. But what I love about Stats having the mothership like this, if he gets caught by anything, you just recall. Doesn't matter. Fungal growth, neural, like as long as the mothership's not neural, at least you can just recall out of there to safety.
Yeah, Infestors are going to have to use fungals here. They don't have Neural Parasite yet. They don't have Pathogen Glands yet.
Is he going to recall?
The Spore Crawler's actually going to kill the mothership. Ooh. And the Hydra's doing some work as well. But
yeah,
it's
but these storms.
Infestors and Stani.
I mean, at this point, he's got to throw down Infested Terrans. He actually doesn't have anything else to fight with.
He has to. He has to. He's actually run out of attacking units here. And all of these charge lots coming in from the north as well, Rifkin. There's a Warp Prism to the very far right.
Those charge lots might just win the game, Maynard.
I think so. They're out of energy, these Infestors, and he has to warp in Lings? Dan's game.
Stance Game, PogChamp, Swift Rage, whatever remote you guys want to go with. Either way, new Archons being merged in, and Stats is starting to run away with the game. He hasn't done it just yet, but he's like right on the verge of just killing a laser. Yeah,
these banelings are so important. He needs these banelings yesterday against these charge slots. The hatchery's starting to take a lot of hurt here, and the Archons. Look how many Archons there are. That's so many. I actually would love if he could neural parasite these Archons and turn them around on those Tempests. That'd be so sick, but it looks like it's not going to happen here for Elazer. He doesn't have much energy left for those Infestors. The Hydras are his front line here.
Yeah, you know what? I think a lot of energy got wasted. You know, he kind of tunnel visioned on those last few Tempests. Like, can you imagine, for example, if all this charge loss coming and got fungal, they wouldn't have been able to connect to the Hydras. Elazer wishing he had more energy, not just for fungals, but for like those neurals that you're hypothesizing over. Losing this base was pretty rough for Elazer. Keep in mind, guys, he had a bank, past tense, not the case anymore.
Trying to reset that static defense here because the looming threat of Stats is still real and present. And Stats has retaken that base. Not only has he taken that, he's taken another Nexus to the very, very far north base while pressuring Elazer here. And Elazer, he's been finding a little bit rough. He doesn't have that sweet spot of drone count anymore. He does, however, have Infestors gathering energy, and they now have those upgrades.
He's almost at this point where he can fight, so he's almost Gosu. Speaking of which, thanks for that new sub! The static D buys him a little bit of time, but honestly, he's probably wishing he was fighting with it, so comes in a little bit late. Wow, the range on those neural parasites, though.
Oh, get the High Templar with the Archon. He has neural parasited Archon.
He was trying to. He was trying to. Got a couple of shots off, but not enough. Hydras, though, are starting to beat this back. Without those Zealots to execute them, Hydras are still really deadly. As you can see, Storm's getting really low, but charge is what kills them most of the time. But, oh, no more money. GG, well played. Stats, not going to die, Maynard. He's not going down 3-0.
That's right. He's going to survive, and he's going to continue to fight back. Let's see if he can tie it up. He's got some work ahead of him, Stats, but I believe in him, man. I believe in Stats.
By the way, again, there's just been so many little bits of bits, so whether it's Up Asia, Janie Jane, or Jibby, or whoever, if we miss any of your shoutouts, please know it's not on purpose, and we love and appreciate you. We said we couldn't beat yesterday, but here's what's kind of funny, Maynard. We're like halfway. We're about halfway to yesterday.
Only halfway? Chat. Come on.
Yeah, this guy. All right, we need to sort out what server we're going to, guys, and we're going to take a quick commercial break injected here, so 2 minutes of ads. Please sit tight. We'll get back. It'll be game number 4. All right, folks, we're back. It's not quite the ace match yet, so Trav Rake, calm down with those beautiful emotes. It is, however,
easy, Tiger.
It is the correct score. A lot of people were confused, like, wait, was the score wrong? Elazer up 2-0? But that's how this was, and Stats just brought it back. So we're on the West Coast server once again. We gave the Elazer the option. Good guy Elazer said, no, we'll keep it on West. So, in the top right, playing for Splice, and on the comeback, it's Stats. But he's still on his last life.
And in the bottom left, with 1 life remaining on match point, this is Poland's Elazer.
All right, I know you've been the one baiting chat all day, but I'm gonna crack my knuckles here and take a stab at it.
Bait him, bait him.
So, first off, guys, we're actually halfway to being where we were yesterday, which is kind of insane to me. I didn't think we'd get anywhere close to it, because yesterday was nuts. Secondly, someone in chat here was asking, why does Maynard only have like 1 quotation around his name instead of full quotations like Rifkin? And I made the joke calling him a rookie bitch. But the reality is, Maynard actually has to earn enough bits on the channel before he gets those extra quotations, guys. So if you want to help Maynard earn his stripes, just keep cheering those bits.
That's exactly what it is, guys. I think the number's like 500,000? I don't know, something like that.
You set the bar real high, man.
Yeah,
I have not been that hard.
It's something like that. I mean, there's no time limit, so whenever you're ready, Chad. We'll do it 100 bits at a time. No problem.
As much as I would love to continue being silly, we do have to take a quick moment to give some love to our sponsors for this tournament, because without them, none of this would be possible. We wouldn't be here making silly jokes about bits, and you guys wouldn't have amazing StarCraft in front of your faces. So if you are tuning in and you're from the United States, make sure to check out bttv.ting.com. This could save you some money monthly on your phone bill. A lot of you are locked in. I know not everybody can swap right now, but we're already at 10 out of 30 signups. And for those who don't know how this works, if we get 30 people signed up, that's how you get Ting Season 5. So far, through every season, we've managed to hit 30 by the end of it, and that's why we've gotten Ting 3 and Ting 4. And I gotta be honest, guys, I'm really looking forward to 2018 and a Ting Season 5. So, whether you're buying the SIM card through the Match Arena reward, or whether you're signing up through bttv.ting.com, Both Gucci ways to show Ting you love them.
Speaking of Gucci, thank you, Dede Kind, for that 100 bits.
Here you go, boys.
Only 490,000 to go. Anyway, the third trying to be blocked here by stats. I don't think that's actually a block. I think you can actually still take that hatchery. But anyway.
Yeah, actually.
I don't think that's a block at all.
No, you know, I think it is by 1 grid point barely. I'm just kind of measuring it out with my mouse right now. So yeah, it was very barely blocking that.
Very barely. 1 hex.
Anyways, Elazer's actually played a pretty good series so far, and I really think, yes, you could argue in game 1 there may have been some latency. I'm not gonna pretend like there wasn't an option for that. But game 2 was on the West Coast server. Let's not forget that was the server we gave for Stats' choice, and Elazer brought the heat. So Stats has finally found a way to beat Elazer. A lot of it had to do with the defense in the late game. We'll see if Stats takes it to the late game again. Because I don't think, and I'm going to really stand by this through the whole series today, even if we see something that says otherwise, Stats to me is not an all-in player who cheeses. It's just he gets away with so much. It snowballs so easily. A lot of players don't know how to handle it, but I feel like Elazer really does.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to. Like, the strength of Stats is his late game, and that's why I was so surprised and also a little bit disappointed in TY yesterday, because of how good his late game TVP is and how he seemed to try and avoid it at all costs in yesterday's BTSL casts.
Oh, by the way, good guy Diesel Max Power says, I'm saving my bets for Zombie Grip since she's getting screwed pretty hard not being part of the madness. Guys, Zombie Grip's still part of the channel. Like, let's just get something out of the way here. She's starting to move away from the channel and follow her own ambitions and things, but that's not happened yet. She's still finishing out TING Season 4, though. She's still doing Corsair Cups and the Lima Leagues and all these good things. Maynard's been coming up for the BTSL to join me because Zombie Grub could use some time off, and frankly, I love casting with Maynard. Everybody here is getting love. There's nobody getting screwed out of anything, but you do what you want to do. I just want to make sure people are aware. Like, Zombie Grub is not getting screwed by not being here.
Yeah, sure got a ton of sun. I mean, I'm sure that the other cast this morning went well, the EU stuff. So all good, man. Zombie Grub gets she gets what she deserves, which lately is a lot, which is great.
Jibby's asking if she's still set up to cast with you tomorrow. So technically, I'm not casting anything else on TwitchCon. I was going to cast a North American group with her, and I still might end up coming on tonight. That's her choice. She opted in to ask to solo cast, though, so I'm not going to complain. It gives me time to pack. And then tomorrow morning, on the U group, for the very last TING group before BlizzCon, she'll be solo casting because I leave tomorrow morning. I leave tomorrow morning bright and early for California.
Nice. Sunny West Coast.
Alright, well, Zergling's poking around for Elazer, unfortunately. Aren't going to find too much. It does bait the energy out of the Oracle, though. Kind of nice, I guess.
Taken out there. You know, the Lings are just getting a little bit of scouting information, not really a ton of damage. Then they just got 1 probe there, no big deal. All of the tech that you generally want a Protoss to have at the point in the game is on the way here for Stats, but a lot of Hydralisks are being made here for Elazer, like a lot of Hydralisks. So with Muscular Orbans finishing off, he may put some pressure on here.
Part of me was really hoping he'd have an Overlord with Queens coming with us too, just doing what Elazer does best, but no, not the case here. So the thing about the Hydras, muscular augments or not, it's still coming at such an early time. His army supply is currently overwhelming Stats', but the type might not, because keep in mind, guys, there's not a Baneling nest with this. It's purely Zergling Hydra.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, Mech Depot is one of those maps that when the rocks are broken down, it is such a good Zerg map. When the rocks are down. Like, they have all this surface area and this big open area in the middle of the map to just reign supreme and just get those concaves that they need so much. Stats is being very, very patient here with his army here at the third base. The natural is locked down for the most part. Mothership Accord needs to get up there, though. The robotics facility is here as well. This is a very important structure.
I'm surprised he's forcing a fight in the natural. At least invulnerable from behind. Kind of like we see charge lots just come in. He focuses down the Oracle. The Zerglings are gone, so there's that wall. And the Elaser's got nothing to protect these glass cannon units.
Yeah, the Hydras, they are kind of made of paper. They are very light units, but their damage output is insane. And Stats is trying to repower that robotics facility here to get that Immortal out. It's very, very important to get the Immortal count up when you're up against this unit comp. Ooh, might have been a bit too deep here.
Yeah, I don't like him going up on the natural ramp for this. I mean, I see why he's doing it, because it's a lot less dangerous than going up the third ramp. But now he's realized, like, wait a minute, I've broken the army. This is where you snowball. This is where you keep the army from ever getting recoverable. More charge lots coming in. This is going to be so good for fighting against the Hydras.
Yeah, the charge lots are going to help out a ton. In fact, some coming out the back to make things a little bit tougher for the Hydras, so the retreat path is closed off. But, dude, a Hydra's not a good unit or what?
They're pretty good units, but like I said, glass cannons too, so every time these charge lots come in, they get knocked down. But I think at this point, Elazer, despite the fact that, you know, he's losing Hydra, sure, he comes back with more, and he comes back with more lings, and he's just reinforcing so quickly across this map. And if these rocks weren't broken down, maybe this wouldn't be the case, but this is starting to really snowball at this point, to the point where stats is down to 20 army supply. And I think Elazer's about to knock stats out of the tournaments.
I feel like it's getting really close to that, Rifkin. He's snowballing so hard here. The army supply really is the big nail in the coffin for stats here. I feel like if you just dive on that robotics facility, stop immortal production, this game is in the bag.
I almost feel like it's better that he's letting the immortals get produced, though, because that's eating up warpins. Like, if there was like 11 more zealots instead of like 3 more immortals, it doesn't matter. Hypotheticals outside of this, Elazer just survived the losers match and eliminated stats. And at the same time, Jimmy comes in with 5,000 ninja stars, saying, "So we hitting this bit record or not, chat?" You know,
yeah, chat. You still got some work to do, chat. If you want to beat yesterday.
Well, they got two. They got 2 amazing best of 5s to still go through. So next up, we're going back to Korea, baby, because it's going to be Hero versus Solar in a brand new best of 5. But with that series concluded, we do have to play some sponsored ad material. So again, here's a word from Ting, guys. Listen closely. Also, quick note, if you guys aren't aware, I'll be going to TwitchCon, as we just briefly mentioned in that last game. Zombie will be coming too. We'll both actually be working at the Ting booth at TwitchCon. Jesse's going to be there, and so is Kyra, the woman from the commercials that you guys always hear, always see. She's going to be at the booth with us. She's actually a wonderful person. We've met her in person. She's super nice, and you guys should definitely stop by the Ting booth to come say hi to us over the weekend. And the best part about the Ting booth, they're going to have phone chargers available. So if you need to recharge your phone, definitely the place to be and come hang out. But anyways, like I said, we'll let them do their talks. Here's the sponsors. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes while we get this winners match ready to go.